Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Yes, I realize it's been a while since I've made anything for you, but that's just the price you have to pay for me only casting the very best games with the funniest outcomes. Now today I've got a hectic 1v1 for you, so sit yourself down with a snack and preferably a glass of water with some ice in it because it's heckin' hot where I am. It's 31.5 degrees in my office. That's Celsius. I don't know what that is in Kelvin for you people who live in Burgerland. So in the top corner, starting with all 4 ACUs from all 4 factions because we've got an Unholy Alliance type mod set up from Command and Conquer in this tournament, the Big Brain tournament. You start with all the factions. That means that not only do you get additional ACUs, but you start with a lot more build power and you start with a lot more mass and energy in the bank, which means you can do a whole bunch of stuff right off the bat. Also, when you build a mechs on this map, on Crazy Backtrack, or any of the Crazy Rush style maps, it spawns 4 additional mechs placements, as you can see. So the mass scaling is huge, and on top of that, if you upgrade these, they get like 4 times adjacency on the upgrade, so super cheap to upgrade mechs is really effective. Now, there are 2 types of cheese that you should be looking for in this kind of game, and the first is the bomber. So when you've got this kind of setup, you're going to be building nothing but engineers, trying to be as greedy as possible, get as much power so you can use your mass, and a bomber landing in just the right place will absolutely cripple you. It will make you very sad. And on top of that, because we've got this extra mod, so Udi is going for a double cheese, 2 cheeses. One is a fine aged cheddar, which is this one here, the bomber first out of his factory. And the second, because he's got obviously the E to pay for it, because all these ACUs are generating E. And the second is a new one. It's the 3 lads on tour. And they're going to be taking a walk straight to Pavor's base, Pavor Miners. And that's particularly crushing. He's actually done this deliberately. The Cybran is staying at home, even though there's no Cybran factions, because the Cybran has less hit points. And he's almost halfway across the map, and poor Pavor, if we go to this view, he has no idea there's a cheese incoming except for this one scout. And this should give the game away a little bit. This bomber, oh, that's crippling. This fire as well. They all burn to death. That's very sad. Absolutely brutal. He's going to get brutalized again. No attempt to dodge. Pavor probably having extreme amounts of depression. He's building an anti-air gun here. But getting bombed. Going for the mexes and the engineers. The mex damage will be huge here. Will he actually kill all them off? No, he doesn't. Not quite. But that gets taken down. Oh god, I have the Commander ACU noise on still. Funny story, I didn't have any ACU noise when my commander is under attack, so I installed a anime sounds mod, which somehow fixed it, and now I've just been embarrassed in front of everybody from having that on. That's brilliant. Now, sending all your ACUs across a map like this actually puts him fairly behind, but considering Pavor has no idea it's coming, right? Because if he could see this, we'll slow it down. If he could see this, he could bring all his ACUs out, com-bomb these 3 somehow, and basically his base would just be more developed. But unfortunately, he has no idea it's coming. And like with any cheese, if someone puts a cheese in your house, you want to find that cheese as quickly as possible before it really stinks up your house. And the cheese is matured here. He's gonna lose a huge amount. If, like me, you do have a problem with your Commander Under Attack sounds sometimes disappearing, you can install the Anime Sounds mod. I guarantee you will never miss another notification again. It's incredibly loud and offensive. He's going for... oh no. He's going for the engineers, which is what he should be going for. Spamming point defenses. But it looks like Pavor is going for a reverse. He's kind of panicked here. He's sent all of his stuff north with no idea what's happening. It's absolutely hectic. If we put it back on full view, Udi doesn't know that this is coming in return either, I guess, which is pretty funny. Udi is a smart player, so he can probably guess where those missing commanders are going, though. Okay, the PDs pick off 1 ACU. But he's lost all of his engineers. The mass difference is horrific. The PD's done great work here. This ACU probably needs to come back in like this because he's gonna die to this ACU. We've still got a one here which should be making it, if this one makes its way up here and kills off the E. But on the other hand, we need to split because Pavor's suicide attack. He's keeping the he's decided to keep the Aeon one. Interesting choice. But there's a huge amount of PD here. Obviously, Yudi is ready for it. He's just done the same thing to his opponent, so he's sitting here ready for it. And that's not going to do anything. That just bounces right off the front. But it does kill the majority of Yudi's engineers there, so we'll see if that does much damage. So both players losing ACUs here. The question is, what can Yudi do with this one? And what possibly can Pavor do with these two? Now, he's kind of walked around. This is roughly the range of the PD here. And that's a problem because all of the valuable stuff here really is E. The energy generators are the valuable stuff here. And that's not in range. So technically, he can kill off all the energy and cripple Yudi back. Look at the mass income, by the way. 108 for Yudi and 15 for Pavor. This is not a good. It's not good. If you're down 10-1 in eco against your opponent, you are having a bad day. There's no way around that. Is there anything he can do to come back? Yes, there probably is. He needs to shield his own energy production, which he kind of is with this ACU. And he needs to kill the energy production here. I'm surprised that Yudi isn't making more. He is. He's just started making more E at the front, which is what he needs to do. If this trades, by the way, this is going to be a trade. All the ACUs left are going to be here. Oh my goodness, that's even worse. That's a trade down there. We can look up here. This is all. The game could end like now. We could be ending at 6 minutes. Yeah, the game could be a draw, and you just have to replay it. That would be even more funny. All the engineers are building power, but crippling that E has done huge damage. We look in Yudi's thing. He's stalling 400 E. He's absolutely crippled. All his power production is restarted at the front, but he's got nothing left. And that's brought the scores back level. I guess we can see what their stuff's worth. Do I still have that mod? 9,000 mass worth. And if we go to Pavor's stuff, he's got 8,000 mass. Yeah, it's basically even, despite how chaotic and crazy this has been. Except that Pavor's ACUs, obviously, this is FAF. If you lose your ACU, you do lose the game. If your ACU dies in the game, you do die for real. He needs to get his ACUs back somehow, because if he gets surrounded by Tech 1 units, he'll just die. Has Yudi figured out that the ACUs are not in the base? I can't believe how even this game is, considering how brutal that start was. I thought that by sending the ACUs here, he'd simply... That was a bad call, right? Because if you've got more build power to just scale up and then you trade, then it works out. And then it's even worse to do the same thing back when your opponent knows it's coming, and yet somehow it still worked out. I do not understand. That was crazy. So the UEF ACU going to be fighting a PD here. That's not great. 2 PDs. So 2 PDs and 3 units like kills an ACU. 3 PDs definitely kills an ACU. This Seraphim boy, well, he's having a great day. He's just shooting mexes. UEF lad over here. He's moving away. There's a nice raid round the back. That's in trouble because it's going to be killing the engineers. That's not great. He does have more at the front producing stuff. What have we got? Well, we got a move down here to build an air factory, and that's going to be a UEF air factory. And if you've played this map, you will know that very large area damage is extremely effective on this cluster of mexes. And there are two ways to do that extremely spicily. The first is with Mercies, with the new area of effect damage over time change. The second, and much more popular, is to use Janus. And Janus absolutely wrecked this. Obviously, as a UEF faithful, when I'd played this map, I did also play as UEF. Although I didn't go for the Janus cheese, I just PD creeped my entire way across the map. Nothing but PDs and shields as far as the eye can see. It was glorious. A true UEF, true UEF playstyle there. So this raid gets cleaned up. Doesn't do too much damage by the looks of things. Counter raid up here going onto the mexes, but yeah, it's going to kind of shield the ACU's retreat, and both ACUs get back. I didn't think UD would let him get away, but 2 ACUs to 1 now. This ACU just being used as a build assist for this engineer. All both going for UEF tech. Very sensible on this map. High health and get them PDs going. Also the artilleries are very effective, because look how close. This is like, there is nowhere to hide. This is like when you go to play paintball and they go, yeah, we're going to be playing in this tiny arena. It's like 20 meters by 20 meters, and everyone gets absolutely plastered. That's exactly what this map is. They're trying to paint each other pink and yellow. More UEF bombers on here. It would be great if they could see them cripple this. And unfortunately, this gets scouted. This was a Tech 2 Air HQ here. So, Tech 2 Air HQ scouted. That is quite painful. He was going gunships. That might have even worked out as a snipe. Because there's no anti-air here. Imagine if like 10 stingers run in. He's just going to die. Actually, 10 stingers? He can probably build enough anti-air in time. Especially with this. He's got flax. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Maybe. Now, the other thing that happens with this map is reclaim. And as you can see, we got attack orders from the factories. Move commands down here. You can see what's going on. But a lot of attack orders for engineers. Another run-by attempted here. 2 run-bys. So Pavor is really pushing out here. How is he getting away with that? Is he? Yeah, a lot of UD's factories are transitioning to T2, so they're not producing units, and that's allowed this kind of envelopment. Let's draw it on the map like we're a piece of trash YouTuber drawing maps onto Ukraine and claiming that we know exactly what's going on. Oh yeah. Look at that envelopment. Ah, he's being surrounded. I kind of wish the ACUs were named, but they're not. It's just ACU. Another raid here. This is being semi-effective, but I feel like a couple of PDs here would shut this down real quick. There's only so much raiding you can do if your opponent PDs up. I feel like that's what UD should do. And then once his Tech 2 tanks come online, he'll be able to push back and crush. Where is the Tech 2 tech? I don't see it. Don't mind me while I just do this. 1 Tech 2 HQ. That's it. That's all we got, boys. Making Tech 2E energy store. Making Tech 2 power. I haven't played FAF for quite a while. Been doing stuff in my real life. I know it's hard to believe that I have one. Is that a Sparky? It was a Sparky just coming down here and dying there. And things have really stabilized across here like this. I really don't know why Pavor has gone for Tech 2 gunships when he could have gone for Janus and absolutely crippled this. Like, a few Janus flying in here and bombing these P-Gens would cripple his opponent, but he's got for gunships, and they're basically just going to tickle Tech 1 tanks. We've got a TMD up. Expecting a TML snipe on his Tech 3 factory. Okay, that makes sense. T3 engineers up. UD is pulling ahead on the mass. He's 100 ahead, so that is significant. And what's more, he's PD'd up his base. Look at all these Tech 2 PDs everywhere. Let's have a look at those. Yeah, so he's got pretty good coverage. A couple more at the back would help. There's the Janus. But it didn't drop. I guess this damage was done by it. There's Flax now. The way to defend against this, by the way, is to have a couple of shields around your mexes. I know that sounds incredibly dumb, but you'll be surprised how often just making some shields works. Shield's a good unit. Tech 1 units filtering in here, but not really getting anywhere. ACUs here. Does he have enough E for overcharge? Having 2 frontline, he doesn't actually have enough overcharge, right? No. Having enough E storage to do overcharge would be pretty significant. Oh, he's going to lose some engineers here. Luckily, he does have these 2 ACUs. I wonder if it's worth focusing them down. Elsewhere on the map, small raid, gonna go nowhere. This is a nicely placed PD. There's a rally points coming in here. They're gonna do nothing. Mass-wise, UD is double. This must be Janus. That's absolutely crippled. Oh, look at the Janus. It's a war crime. Yikes. We got some Titans in the mix here from Pavel, but he hasn't scaled up his production. It's really only it's going up to T2, but he doesn't have that. He's not able to use that T3. A Spearhead in the middle here. Spearhead's actually kind of smart. I didn't really think about that, but Spearhead's going for the factories would really limit your opponent's production. That's kind of big brain. Doing nothing about these Janus, though, that is not big brain. Well, we got a Janus fight. He needs to protect the mexes a little bit more. We've got a nice run by at the top, but it's going to be walking into a lot of PDs. And it's staggered PDs as well. They're all the way back. By the time he's fighting these will be shooting. It's like a layered defense. Oh my god, dude. Incredible. Factory priority? Let's go. No attempt to PD creep out from Pavor. He does have a SAM. Building Tech 1 anti-airs, that is not going to do. That's almost not even worth a click at this point in the game. Stealth upgrade for UD. He assumes that he's ahead. He is, so he's probably going to try and make himself a little bit harder to snipe, which is very sensible. The Titans do manage to get around the top here, but there's just too much PD. And T3 engineers coming to the front. Slap down a Ravager right here. Go on, do it. The range is just will be like this. Be delicious. Oh, you can attack the factories and the energy and everything. Let's go. He's not going to do that. But he could. Percival's out on the field for UD. That's going to counter the Titans. Although Percival's generally not very effective against this kind of spammy stuff because, you know... Oh, has he got them on building priority or something? Oof. They are going to hard counter the Titans. But most of the shots will be wasted against Tech 1 tanks. Right, mass-wise, well, they both got a little bit of mass in the bank. Imagine if they spend that on one Ravager. That would make me very happy as a UEF player. Let's go. At this point, gun and overcharge is probably not a great idea since there's so many Percivals out. But they do have the E for it. They're floating a lot of E. They really could be using the ACUs. I guess you just don't want to risk the snipe. The Shift G on your ACU. Got a very dangerous amount of Janus here. They're probably going straight back in. Still no shield. Still no SAMs. Really a SAM hero here would protect this. Yeah, UD's got SAMs and a Ravager in his base to protect. There's no anti-air. No inties or anything. Oh no. That is crippling. You can just see the mats drop as he does that. And Yudi's going to start working on Tech 2 artillery, which will reach everything, because it's a tiny map. There you go. It reaches all the factories. And when that starts going up, you really have to try to focus it down with whatever you've got. A lot of T3 factories from Pavor. He's working on Titans out of all of them. Does he have the mass for that? He does not, since he lost all his mexes. The Janus are just completely uncontrolled. I think that's what's crippling him. The Janus are just crippling his mexes every 5 minutes. He's got no answer at all. Why is there not a Sam here? Okay, he queues up some Sams, but the damage is almost done. Stalling mass for units like that. He's going to be at such a disadvantage. He's going to be losing ground, and as soon as these units start getting into his factories, he loses production as well. So where are the ACUs? We've got 2 in the middle here for Pavor, for Yudi. I can't even see them with the mod. That's what's painful. Okay, it's hidden in the mexes. Like a stealthy Cybran. He's stalling E somehow. Yudi, why are you stalling E? Well, he's got multiple T3P gens and he's still stalling E and full barring mass. No wonder he hasn't finished this game out. Pain. The eco is very, very hard to manage on this map. Now this is going to do damage in here. These are just finishing their upgrade to T3. This run by is going to be all the way through. Did the T3 engineer that was finally coming to build a SAM get killed? No, it just still hasn't arrived yet. Even more pain. Cripple. We do finally have that PD creep going up though. Well, we did. The Percivals will kill that off. So we've got the shield. The shield not covering the ACU, by the way. Questionable. So I guess it's really hard to see the ACU because it gets buried in the mex icons. This is actually the default icon preset. So everybody goes, but the default icons, you can see everything perfectly. Oh yeah, where's the ACU, bud? Not perfect, are they? No attempt at any TML warfare from either player. We've got 1 TMD here. Although technically, you know, 3 TMLs would... Where's Yudi off to? Okay. Is this his command? He's moving here. He's moving to the front. Okay, boys. Okay, you know what? You do it. This attack is going to kind of die out in here. Not because of PD, but just because of the weight of fire from all the stuff rolling off the production. There's a lot of Titans here. A lot of Titans. I really love the Spearhead, by the way. The commitment to make Spearheads. Chad play. Tech 2 artillery in the middle. Tech 2 artillery, shield, PD, 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 Ravager. Nice. Drag a line of PD towards your opponent's base. Your base is now my base. Tech 2 artilleries. Well, they're going to be damaging the factories. Pavor's doing the right thing. He has to push here for the... He has to push here for the artilleries, but he's seen the ACU. Oh, that's a colossal shift G. Yudi's miles ahead, like 1,000 eco to 200. Oh no, it's everyone in the tournament can see. Yudi, no! He's thrown the game. That's his only ACU left. He was so far ahead. Oh, that poor man. He did have the TMLs. He had to go for a snipe. Pavel had to go for a snipe. He was so far behind. There's T3 power and upgraded kennels, and look at all the mexes are all at T2. Look at this perfect mex grid. Oh, it's so good. He had to go for a snipe, but then Yudi just walked straight into his ACU straight in. I think we need to go and have a look what happened. Hold on.
Yeah, it's rewind time. Yeah, if I control rewind, I would want Fortnite and Marquez Brownlee.
Okay, boys, here we are back in the past. Yudi is absolutely crushing. He's got a crippling run-by down here that can't be stopped. He's firebombing the mexes. It's absolutely disgusting. Oh, that one mech's really dead. At the top, his counter raids are being easily repelled. He's just killed all of his T1 power, and he's going for T3. He's got a shield here. His ACU is semi-idle with stealth, making him very hard to find. And at some point in the very near future, he's going to change his mind and YOLO into the fray, like that Warhammer guy saying, "Drive me closer, I want to hit them with my sword." Just at the wrong time, just as Pavel basically does a last-minute control-shift move on everything he has to try and kill these artilleries. There we go. So let's pause it right there. This is a big move command. There's lots of units attached to it, so all we need to do is go around and see... Okay, engineers. What else is on this move command? These engineers. Okay. What else? These engineers. Okay, these are on an attack move. So it very much looks to me like the order that's been given here is an engineer move. And I suspect what's happened, if we go Control E, that's the idle engineers now. They've probably just finished something. I think Yudi's done an idle engineer move. And that'll be either to reclaim or to start spam building PD. Both are great options on this map. Because he's probably playing like this, right? He's probably playing like, you guys come here, you guys... He's probably like doing this at this stage of the game. These Crazy Rush maps in particular are very APM heavy. A lot of the engineers that are idle in this base are really ones that have just been built out of the factories. All of this stuff is converging. All the engineers from his idle engineer command are converging on this point just as Pavel's push for the artilleries, and he sees it. Oh no. Absolutely brutal. Well, hats off to Pavel for staying in the game, even though he kind of should have realized it was well lost. But a bit of a sad blunder there from Yudi. Let's have a look at what you can do to prevent that. But the answer is pretty simple, is that if you've got your ACU in your base and you use the idle engineer command to like give moves or attack orders to reclaim, which is real sensible, real good, give your ACU and just an assist command. Like if he'd been standing in this shield here, just assisting this factory, he would never have gone. If he'd been assisting the shield or a mex or anything that's doing something constantly, he wouldn't have come down here. And he would have won that game. So, it's good to learn from your mistakes, but it's much better and sometimes cheaper and less painful to learn from somebody else's mistakes. So if you've got your ACU in your base near the end of a game, and you use the idle engineer command to give orders like that, make sure you give him an assist command onto a factory or something. Or a shield. You can do it to a shield, because then he'll just stand here like a lemon, and then you win. Alright, hope you enjoyed that. Here's Keyboard Cat.